something I actually want us to see what our people in Africa and in Nigeria, what we are going through. Please, before I come back, watch this video.
That again.
From the video you just watched, actually I don't like bringing such thing to the light of the camera, but I just have to do it because that is the reality on ground that we in Nigeria and across Africa we are facing. You can see those little children, what they are going through. Africans are living as a refugee in their own country. Let me give us a little scenario. The issue of terrorism called Boko Haram or whatever started in Nigeria in 2009. And from 2009 down to date, people who are bona fide citizens of this country by birth are still living in IDPs camp. Internally displaced person in Nigeria is more than 10 million. Nigerians who are living as refugees in neighboring African countries, more than 40,000 people. It's what I personally call state terrorism. Let me explain to you what I mean by state terrorism. I've always maintained this fact. I'm very consistent about it. That poverty is deliberately created in the Nigerian state and across African states. In Nigeria, we have 133 million in poverty. That is state terrorism. 90 million in extreme poverty is state terrorism. In a country that you have almost more than half of the population are in extreme poverty, and you expect peace, and you expect good things, and you expect good society. I actually shed tears, to be honest with everyone, when I watched that video, when I saw that video online. Those children, they will grow up to become adults. They will grow up to become young men. They will grow up to become youth in the society. How do you think that they will live and appreciate the state when the state treated them in such manner? See how our people are living as refugees in their own country. Look at what we are going through. Not that we are not blessed with resources. It's because we have continued oftentimes produce leaders who are self-centric, leaders who don't believe in carrying out the social welfare of the people, leaders who completely lack the nut and boots of governance. Yeah, state terrorism is simply defined. Any country who intentionally and deliberately allow its people to remain in poverty is completely state terrorism. And let me tell us one thing. The justice system in Nigeria, for we all know that the justice system in Nigeria and Africa countries are completely porous. In Nigeria, over 70% of the inmates you see in the Nigeria correctional centers are waiting trial. It is state terrorism because justice is not delivered. In a country where the rich can buy justice for themselves, I said it before in one of my previous videos. A man who stole a bottle of alcohol in Lagos State, even as I'm talking to you to date, he's still in prison. But those who have stolen money, who have looted state fund, who have embezzled state fund, those who come out on the TV and tell us that termite ate document, told you that they use billions to do this and that, that rat, python, swallow money, they are working freely in the state. That is state terrorism. A country that completely denied the people good social life, good environment, no good educational system in the country, no good healthcare system, no good regulatory policies to control the economy. Inflation is rising on a daily basis. Marketers can just wake up and hoard goods and cause untold hardship on the common people. It is state terrorism. A state where the government don't provide electricity, the government don't provide security of lives and property, the government neglect everything that has to do with the common man. What else is terrorism? For instance, in Nigeria, I don't want to mention the name of a state, but they actually sent a report to the Nigerian authority. And on that report contains names of people who are, some of them are senators, they are governors, the top government official who are actually sponsoring terror in Nigeria, the state has not called them for questioning. They have not been called for questioning. That is state terrorism, not just in Nigeria but across Africa. Look at what is happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the M23 rebel groups. Look at what is happening in Eastern Africa. Look at the issue, the misunderstanding that, I don't know, that the people cannot come as brother and resolve between the Hutus and the Tutsi. Look at what is happening in the Maasai region. Look at what is happening in Ethiopia. Africans are living as refugees in their own country. And all these things are caused by state actors in Africa, not other people. For us in Nigeria, all what we are facing is caused by those we elect into sensitive public position and maintain the fact that those that govern Nigerians are those that completely lack the nuts and bolts of governance. And only one thing will solve this: revolution. Either revolution of thought and mind or revolution of action. Because the children you see, I just showed you on the video, they're not just in Nigeria, they are peculiar to Africa. These are Africans live as refugees, and you think there will be a good society, you think there will be peace? When the state has deliberately created poverty, a dirty lifestyle, a dirty condition for its own people. In our own country, we are living as if we are refugees. I beg everyone, it is time that not just for us in Nigeria to rise, but across Africa, if we really don't want this situation I just showed us on the video, those little children, to continue in African state. If we don't want it to continue, then we must rise and do the needful. The needful is revolution. I don't know how it will come, but I'm so optimistic, and I'll tell everyone that only a revolutionary action will solve the problem of Nigeria. Thank you so much.